Okay, so this is the second part of our code. This is the input checker, so basically the main part of our game where users can put in input and we'll check it. This macro at the start here is the next line macro that just reads from a file the word that is the next line. We started off with a start label. We have a couple of hard-coded variables to begin with, such as s2 being our number of words in the file. But the way it works is start will go through and just print out our prompt saying enter in a word of not using the 9 letters given, and then we will syscall for user input, read from the file here, temporary.txt, and then call the next line macro to get the first word. On the first word, we just check the letters. We want to make sure that the input is viable from their input before we even check what is there, and that's just to make sure it's not uppercase or not. Um, from here, it's just using all these different labels to check the word to make sure that it has not been already entered from user input. And then if it hasn't, it goes down to these labels where it will check using the stack whether or not that word is in the file. Um, if it isn't in the file, we will redirect it to one of the error messages that will say it's not in the file or you've already entered this word. Um, and on top of that, if you enter in something that was like with uppercase, it will print out and say that you don't need to, but it will still count the word properly. Um, Otherwise, if it's not that first line, we will go to the next line and so on and so forth until we get to the end of file. And then lastly here we have our adding the word, where we will add the word to a .ASCII and increment the number of words that have been added there by 1. And if it reaches it, then it'll go to this place here, you win, where it will just end the file after printing out you've won the game. So here's a sample of what we got. I'm going to clear the console and move that screen record so you can see better and restart this. So starting off, it wants 9 characters. This is the hard-coded list that we're using due to our limitations. So I'm going to enter in some of these and just show you how it works. We have these 5, John, Jacob, monkey, hopscotch, apple, and the end of file token at the end to know where the file actually ends. So starting this off, put in John, you'll see that it prints out John again, which means it's been added. Then I try tutu, and you'll see that it's not in the list. Jacob, apple, monkey, put hopscotch in, and when you finally added all of them, it will say that you've passed all the words and you win, and the program is finished running. And this is the second part of our code.